All right, welcome. Today, we are going to dive right in and build your understanding of English grammar literally from the ground up. We're starting with its most essential component. So, if you've ever wanted to construct better, more powerful sentences, you are in exactly the right place. So, here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the big picture, the art of communication itself. Then, we'll break language down into its fundamental building blocks. After that, it's all about nouns, seeing how they work in the real world. And finally, we'll talk about why this stuff is so important. First things first, before we can even talk about grammar, we've got to ask a basic question. Why do we even have it? Well, it all boils down to our need to communicate. That simple yet powerful act of sharing what's in our heads with other people. You know, we do this all day, every day, without a second thought. But have you ever really stopped to think about it? How do you take an idea, something that only exists in your mind, and successfully get it into someone else's? It's kind of magical when you think about it. Well, it's not magic. It's actually a process with clear steps. It starts with the sender, that's you, who has a message. Then you have to encode it, which is just a fancy way of saying you choose the right words. You send it through a channel, like speaking out loud or typing an email. Then the receiver on the other end has to decode it to understand your idea. And the glue that holds this whole thing together? That's grammar. It's the shared rulebook that makes sure your message doesn't get lost in translation. Okay, so now that we get the why of communication, let's get into the how. How do we actually build meaning? This is where we start looking at the real nuts and bolts of the English language. I love this analogy. Think about it. You wouldn't use glass to build a foundation or bricks for a window, right? Each part has a job. It's the exact same with sentences. You can't just throw words together randomly. You need the right parts in the right places. And each part of speech has a very specific job to do. And here they are, the 8 superstars of English. You've got nouns for naming things, verbs for all the action, adjectives to make things sound interesting, and so on. Every single one is important. But for today, we are going to laser focus on the absolute foundation of the house, the noun. All right, let's do it. Let's zoom in on that core foundation, the noun. Honestly, in almost any sentence you can think of, everything else is there to support the noun. So what is a noun? It's simple, really. It's a naming word. It's how we label everything in the world. If you can put a name on it, a student, a school, a cat, a desk, or even something you can't see, like democracy, yep, it's a noun. But wait, there's more. It gets even more specific. To be really clear when we communicate, we can actually sort nouns into different categories. This just helps us be more precise about what we're talking about. Let's break these down. First up, proper nouns. These are the specific names, like Paris or Coca-Cola, and they're so special they always get a capital letter. The flip side is a common noun, which is just the general word, like city. Then you have abstract nouns for big ideas you can't touch, like courage. Collective nouns are for groups, like a team or a herd. And finally, material nouns are exactly what they sound like. They name the stuff things are made from, like gold or wood. Okay, knowing the different types of nouns is great, but where they really show their power is in the jobs they do inside a sentence. This is where grammar stops being theory and starts being, well, action. So, in any sentence that has an action, a noun can play one of two starring roles. First, you have the subject. That's the noun that's actually doing the action. Then you have the object, which is the noun that's receiving the action. Just think of it like this. Who's doing it and who is it being done to? Let's check out a super simple example. A florist sells flowers. 3 little words, but everything we need is right there. Let's take it apart. Ask yourself, who is doing what and to what? So who or what is doing the selling? The florist, of course. The noun florist is performing the action. That's what makes it the subject of our sentence. Easy, right? Now let's look at the other side of that action. The florist sells what? The answer is flowers. The noun flowers is the thing being sold. It's receiving the action. And that, my friends, makes it the object. So we've gone from big ideas about communication all the way down to a 3-word sentence. But you might be wondering, why does this, the difference between a subject and an object, actually matter? Here's why. Grammar isn't just a bunch of boring rules you have to memorize for a test. It's your toolkit. It's what lets you build clear, powerful, and correct sentences. Understanding these rules helps you say exactly what you mean every single time. All right, let's do a quick recap. We learned that communication isn't random, it's a structured process. We saw that our language is built from 8 key parts of speech, and that nouns are the bedrock. And most importantly, we learned that nouns play the critical roles of the doer, the subject, and the receiver, the object, in a sentence. So, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. As you go about the rest of your day, start hunting for subjects and objects. I'm serious. In a news article, a text message, an email, start looking for them. Once you start noticing them, you'll be amazed how quickly it all clicks and how much deeper your understanding of language becomes.